Hello everyone, Robert Rambles here, and welcome back to WoW Vanilla Classic and our Hardcore Mage playthrough. Thank you guys for joining me here today. Starting off in the Sepulchre, we have some stuff to do over at the Decrepit Ferry, but more importantly, we gotta go get this stuff done up here to the north, and then we need to get on a Zeppelin over to Durotar. We have to get into the Barrens, I think, and start doing some stuff over that way, but we do want to wrap up this level 11 quest so that we don't lose it in our absence. Hope you guys are doing well, and I appreciate you choosing to spend your time here with me. And I think we'll do a bunch of stuff in the Barrens, and we will come back once we have a few levels on Border Crossing. I think Border Crossing is probably going to turn out to be the lowest level quest that we leave behind. We also have to do enemies within, actually, in Durotar. If we want to do Wailing, if we want to do Ragefire Chasm, which, yeah, I do. I don't get super excited anymore about the hardcore dungeons. We did a couple of them on the Druid. They were fun. You know, sometimes you get a piece of gear, sometimes you don't get anything. It's a lot of risk. And more importantly, since you can't do them multiple times, I mean, I have bad luck with drops. I usually have to do a run a couple times to get anything in a 5-man run. Obviously the quest experience is worth it. But is it worth all the risk? I don't know. I'm wary when I'm not the tank. When I'm tanking, I have a measure of control over the pulls, I have a measure of control over what happens, or at least there's the illusion of control. But on a DPS class, I am just gonna kind of be along for the ride. Now that being said, on a DPS class, I guess I wouldn't feel as bad if I had to run for the hills as I would if we were playing a tank.
This had better be good.
Alright, he is healed, and then I think she has a quest for us to go kill a named undead in the barn.
I haven't got all day.
So let's do, yeah, that one's level 12. We're obviously going to do that as well before we take off. Are we good here? Let's get our buffs up. We'll make some water. We'll make some food. And we'll drink. Oh, and then this person's probably going to run in there and grab the guy we need. Brilliant. Perfect. Awesome. Oh, the guy's not here, so he's in stealth, and that's fine. We'll park ourselves over here. Yes, we can see you in stealth because we're the same faction. And see, this is where the hardcore experience needs to be eased in its artificial pain, and the two of us need to be able to jump into a group together and kill this guy, just like you would do when you're playing World of Warcraft. A massively multiplayer online RPG. You would group up. Does that minimize the risk? Absolutely it does, but the most important thing it does is it makes it so you don't have to wait, and wait, and wait. Because waiting is not part of difficulty. Waiting is just part of, you know, wasting your time, essentially. But it has nothing to do with difficulty. We're gonna come outside and fight some stuff. I'm assuming he is gonna... I'm kind of thinking about not doing this one. We kind of have a standing rule that we don't really do named guy quests. That's kind of been a standing rule in this playthrough. We've gotten lucky with a couple of them. I just really don't like losing momentum. It's a pet peeve of mine, even when it would make sense to wait. Even when it would make sense numerically to wait. For me, emotionally, I want to keep my momentum. I'm going to move on. Maybe we come back here and do this. Maybe we don't. But yeah, I'm going to move on. Oh, that was not what I wanted. I was able to shift-click these to hide them, and now I'm not able to. Is that because I'm in combat? Is there a reason why Questy stops you from being able to interact with the quests like that when you get into combat? It's really weird. Oh, look, it caught up to what I was trying to do. There we go. Okay. Let's track that. That's what we're actually going to do. Hidden enemies. We are probably never doing Recipe for Death because it's an elite quest, and we're not allowed to do elite quest in hardcore on the Bloodsail Buccaneers server, so let's go ahead and abandon that one. Family Crypt, we have lots of time before that one goes gray. You are a Murloc. Hello. I don't see any Zeppelins yet, which at our distance to the tower is a good thing. We're gonna hopefully get there and not have a very long wait. If there were a Zeppelin there now, we would probably miss it. So we're just not quite close enough. So recently, I've been thinking a lot about retail as compared to classic, and why I enjoy classic so much, and why no matter what I do, I can't seem to enjoy retail anywhere close to the same way. And last night, I did a Nax 10 run on my Paladin. Got really lucky, just got invited to a group straight away from the looking for raid tool, and it was a full clear. We had a really good run. And I got a ton of gear. It felt really good. Our performance healing was decent. And I kind of realized that the thing that I like to do at endgame is I like to do 5-mans and I like to do raids. And these days, I don't want to do a ton of 5-mans. I don't want to farm badges for 6 hours a day. What I like being able to do is jump into a raid once or twice a week, get some gear, make some progress, have some fun, and then, you know, maybe I only play that character during raids and during 5-mans. I guess what I don't like about retail is that it comes built in with all the endgame activities, and that's the whole game. It's the whole game. The leveling experience is non-existent. While the lore is interesting to me, the story itself, the way it's told, especially the villain characters, are kind of silly. The villain, are they the primalist leaders, whoever they are, they just kind of remind me of like a Disney Pixar villain, which is fine. It just isn't super interesting to me. I'm an older person. I don't know if that's why it's not interesting to me, but it could be one of the factors. And so, I don't have a big impetus to play retail, and I don't really get enjoyment out of it because I know that the way that I would play is not the way that you're intended to play. They want you to get on and clear the world quest, farm your renown, go down the progression tracks, collect the 4 different types of currencies that turn into 2 other types of currencies, endlessly upgrade your gear, and I just don't enjoy that. Within all that, you can also raid. You can also do mythic 5-mans. You can do that too. It just doesn't seem like the game is set up to let you just do those things, unless you have like a core group of guildies or people to play with, which I don't. So as a casual player, as a solo player in retail, I feel like I'm forced to just do these world quests and farm renown. It's just not fun to me. I try to enjoy it. It's very cathartic. Like, you can get into it and you can just keep going. It's easy just to keep doing world quests, go from point to point to point. It doesn't feel like a journey. It doesn't feel like anything really. It does in fact feel like the absence of things. It becomes almost meditative, which is really not what I'm looking for. And I just can't imagine just getting on and doing that endgame loop every day. Getting on, doing world quest, upgrading my items at the thing, putting the resources in, maybe sometimes looking for raid. At the same time, I have no impetus to try to join a guild in retail. I don't log. I don't make logs. I don't use LVUI. I don't use weak auras. And I don't want to do those things. They don't interest me, and I have no interest in those things. But it's the expectation of the community that you do all those things if you want to get into a group of people that is actually pushing content and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm curious about your guys' thoughts, those of you who primarily play Classic. Do you try to wade your toes into retail? Do you feel any of the things that I feel about just like, it's like there's a futility in the endgame loop. Like it's like they give you so much stuff to do. I feel bad because like people's biggest complaint in the past has been, oh, there's not enough to do in World of Warcraft as a solo player. Now there's a ton of stuff to do. It's just that none of it really means anything to me. I really love the WoW where we kind of eclipsed it in Wrath. That was like kind of the pinnacle where you have the journey to 80. You have the gearing up in 5-mans. And then you do your raids. And maybe you PvP. Then maybe you roll up an alt and you get him into some raids. You know, not having to, not feeling like you have to log into a character every day and play for 2.5 hours on that character every single day. I don't think that people necessarily want to feel compelled to do that. I don't want to feel compelled to do that. I don't want to feel like that's the way I have to play the game in order to be playing it as designed. But yeah, it started in Legion. In Legion, you couldn't really raid log. You could. Your character was going to be really underpowered compared to those who got on every day and just ground their artifact power every day for 2, 3, 4, 6 hours a day. How'd you do that? You do every world quest on the map. You haven't cleared all your world quests off the map? What's wrong with you? And that's where it started. That's where retail lost me, I think. And I love the artifacts. I love the order halls. The class order halls were something I wish had never gone away. The stories they were able to tell for the classes were so amazing. The artifact appearances themselves were just great. But it was the grind, you know. And I think that's where it lost me. As far as, like, you know, if we go back before that to Warlords, I guess the grind was in the form of the garrison to a certain extent. I didn't really do a lot in the garrison. I got on there sometimes and I go to the mine and do my mining, but the garrison was not what I thought it was going to be when I got excited for it. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be a little bit different than it ended up being. One of you guys pointed out to me that I might want to let lower level guys hit me a little bit to build up our defense skill instead of frost novaing and backing out. Especially when we're at full health, and you are absolutely right. So we're just looking for a lieutenant's insignia. This can come off of anybody. There's another quest here, though, and unfortunately I do feel like this will also chain. Gaz Ooze, we need to bring his eye. This is going to be a named guide. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the named guide. This place looks pretty busy at the moment. Hey, we didn't spend our level 15 talent point. What a shocker. I know. Okay, so... oh, man. I feel like I want to take the crit damage. We crit a lot. And if we put 5 points in that, it's going to double the damage on our crits. You know, what I like about Classic Endgame is that there's stuff you can do, but you don't have to. You know, I could be on my Paladin every single day, farming badges, doing the 5-man hard mode dungeons, getting more badges, turning that into gear. I could do that stuff, but I don't have to. All I have to do is get into a raid, do some decent healing, and collect loot. And that's what I'd like to do. Now, that being said, there's things that I could do, like if I wanted to farm up some heirloom gear, that would be a great reason to just do a bunch of 5-mans. Maybe we tank them, maybe we heal them. We could do stuff like that, but it's optional. Whereas the things that retail presents you with, they're optional, but they're not optional if if you're trying to feel relevant from a character or power point of view, it doesn't feel like any of it's optional. Unless you have that solid group of guys that you raid with every week, and maybe you do some Mythic Plus. But I'm talking from the perspective of a solo player, of which there are a ton of people. Lots of people are solo players in WoW. People don't understand that, like, solo players are kind of the silent majority. Was that too close? Yeah. Yeah, we've had a lot of close calls on the Mage. But we got the item. I forgot that this is like kind of like the cave of death for a lot of characters. There are a lot of bodies around. It's these Void Walkers. This is going to give us a hard time because we got off to a bad start on this pull. We're actually... oh no. We're about to become a body. That's what's about to happen. We can maybe get out of here. If we don't get stunned. If we don't get stunned, we have a chance. Alright, we're clear. I probably should have went for that bigger potion when I did go for that potion. But hey, look at it this way, now we saved it for next time. And there will be a next time, probably pretty soon. And that's why there are so many bodies there, because even at level 15, just fighting one of the casters and a warlock, the warlock and the Voidwalker, getting off to that bad start, it would have easily killed us. We probably should have died. We got saved by the really sticky glue, and then Frost Nova coming back off cooldown. We never got the lieutenant's insignia. That's hilarious. I'm obviously out of sorts this morning. We're already back here, so maybe we go talk to Niru. We'll see if this one chains in anything. I was so excited about getting the eye. So caught up in all my random thoughts this morning. Do we want to store anything in the bank? We probably should just sell some stuff. We have bolts that we can drop into the bank really quick.
What are you looking for?
And I think that's it. Let's drop these other 2 pieces of leather. That'll give us 3 in the bank that we can use for any tailoring recipes later on.
Victory!
Zug zug. Be safe. have just the thing for you. Goodbye.
Blood and thunder. Strength.
Just looking at Wowhead, I guess they sent out a poll the other day. Let's see, what is your favorite game mode in WoW? Outdoor questing / leveling, Mythic Plus, Dragonflight raiding, Classic raiding, Dragonflight PvP, Classic PvP, Wrath Classic Dungeons, Classic Era, Classic Hardcore, Other. 10,765 votes so far. That's an official Blue Community Manager post poll. Yeah, it feels like they're really struggling. They must be struggling so hard to figure out why people like the things they like in the game, why the people are logging into the places, because they have data, okay? They have f***ing data. They know what things people are doing on their WoW accounts. They know who's playing on Bloodcell Buccaneers. They know who's logging into Classic Era. They know how many people are doing Wrath Classic Dungeons. They have data. And if they don't have this data, if there's any possibility that they can't put exact metrics to these categories, then they are doing something horribly wrong. If they're relying on a vote to figure out what do people do, unless they're supposing that many people do things in the game that they don't enjoy because of the way the game is designed, unless they're supposing that the data they have about what people do does not reflect what they wish they were doing or what they actually enjoy doing. And this really just feels to me like they're trying to figure out if they should put any money, effort, time, thought into Classic Era. So guys, if you're a fan of Classic Era, go to Wowhead, go to this poll, this official Blue Post poll, and click a thing. Please go click a thing. Blizzard are obviously struggling to identify why people like parts of the game that they do. Maybe they don't believe it. They seem to be in a state of disbelief about how popular Classic Hardcore is. Because there has been absolutely no official news about Classic. There has been no attempt at getting any hype going for either mode of Classic, either Wrath or Vanilla. I check Wowhead every day, and there's just nothing. There's nothing. It gets really frustrating to see like the complete lack of resources, effort, energy, communication put into Classic Era. Especially when I get on here every day and I see how many people love playing in this era at all times of the day, every day of the week. It'd be great if they would just have some kind of acknowledgement, like, but that would suppose that they had an actual team of developers working on Classic, which I bet they don't. I bet they spin some people up, move some people over when they have to have content to get pushed out, but I bet the rest of the time those people are working on retail. It just really doesn't feel like there are any resources devoted to Classic, either Wrath or Vanilla. And so now we have this poll. And now, you know, potentially the future of Classic Era maybe will be decided by a random poll they put out. I'm going to click on Classic Hardcore. Yeah. Incredible. I wonder if they understand, like, the concept of momentum. The concept of people seem to be really, really interested in thing A right now. Even though that is unexpected, we should act on that interest immediately. And, you know, you get hype going. You do something cool. You do some kind of cool Blizzard official event of some kind. Don't leave it up to the creator communities to do this kind of stuff. Blizzard should get in there, and they should act on it immediately. Because then what you're going to do is you're going to generate even more interest, because people are going to see, oh look, not only are lots of people enjoying Classic Hardcore, but Blizzard is actually stepping in and doing something for Hardcore. And that would, you know, that would prove to people that yes, there's going to be support for this game mode. I can get into this. I do want to get into this. Alright, I'm done ranting about it for today. For now. Let me know what you guys think. Am I just being too hard on Blizzard? I know there's always somebody that says I rag on Blizzard too much. They can take it, boys. They're a multi-dollar company. They can take me, a nobody, ragging on them. Or they could just support their products, and then no one would have to rag on them for that. They could literally just, with either human time and effort or money, or both, they could support their products. All of their products. Not just the one that is the flashiest, newest, and pulls in the most monthly active users. Okay, now rant over. Let's go get this one turned in.
Warcraft.
Welcome to Warcraft. Have you come to serve the Horde?
Trollhal. Farewell.
Loktar, friend. What is it you wish?
Alright, so that chain is over. We have 2 of the 6 quests, maybe 5. I think there might be 5. A couple of them we pick up in Thunder Bluff, and I think maybe 1 we pick up in Undercity. So we will get those at a future time. If I'm thinking about doing the dungeon, I want to do it around maybe level 17 or 18, so we'll kind of see. I forget what level we were on the Druid, but I actually want to be useful in the run, so I want to have a little bit more power. I think we were 19 when we went on the Druid, and we should have waited till 20 because we would have gotten Swipe. There's probably something we get at level 20 that would be really helpful, so I'm going to look at our Mage skills for level 20 and see if we do need to also wait. Maybe we get Blizzard at level 20. Either way, we'll see. After this, I think we're just going to head into Crossroads and start doing some questing out of there. But I'm going to take a break here, guys. I'm going to get some lunch and get a workout in, and then I think I'll either come back here or maybe I'll jump onto our Wrath Paladin and do some 5-man stuff. We'll see. Either way, thank you guys so much for being here and for clicking on the video, for hanging around this long if you're still here. I really do appreciate you guys. It does mean the world to me. So take care of yourselves out there and take care of each other. And we will see you back here again very soon. Bye for now.